Okay, let's try this second example of finding a cubic equation. We're given this graph here, and it's another cubic equation. It's positive, and all that makes sense because that a there is actually the number in front is 1, so that makes sense. But we're given a turning point here of -1 and -1. We're not told what this turning point is here, but we've got enough to get started. Now this is this one where we've got to build two equations. Well, let's see how this works. We're going to have to build two different equations in A and B and solve them. Okay, well, let's try. The first one is, since -1 and -1 is part of this function, if you substitute -1 in for x, you should get -1 out for f of x. In other words, f of -1 equals -1. Well, that's all you do. You take -1 and you put it in for x, wherever you see, and f of x, y is -1, and you work it all out, so you have nothing but a and b left. Well, there you go. You'd get -1 cubed is -1. -1 squared is 1 times a, -1 times b is -b. You got a -2 and a -1. Okay, there we got -3. We're going to add it to the other side and get 2. So there's our first equation, a minus b equals 2. But that's, we know if we take -1 and put it in, we'll get -1 out for an answer. We also know that this is a turning point. So if we had the derivative of right here, we know that the derivative here, the gradient here, is 0 at -1. Well, couldn't we find the derivative of this, y equals x cubed, and then plug in the -1 in there and let it equal 0 because the gradient is 0 there. So that's what we do. -1 and -1 is a turning point of f. We know that the derivative of p must be 0 because it's turns there. It's a stationary point. So f of -1 equals 0. So the first thing we do is get the derivative. So it's 3x squared plus 2ax plus b. And then if we put -1 in for x, we should get 0 out. So we do that, put -1 in for x, and make it equal 0. And just work it out, -2ab, 3. Let's move the -2a and the b on the other side. There's our second equation. We've got one, a minus b equals 2. Another one, 2a minus b equals 3. Look what Mr. Autry does. All he does is put them over top of each other. The 2a minus b on top equals 3. The a minus b on the bottom. Hey, this minus b and minus b are exactly the same. So if we subtract them, we'll get 0. 2a minus 1a is 1a. 3 minus 2 is 1. So a equals 1. So if a is 1, we could put a 1 in there. We'd get minus b equals 1. So b equals -1. And there's your answer. A is 1. And b is -1. So if you were writing out the thing, it'd be x cubed plus x squared minus x minus 2. And there you go. All done.